everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoring Guides, bringing you my run for Metroid Zero Mission on hard, no item upgrades. So today we're doing the Power Grip Power Up. I should make that more specific so that way, you know, yeah. I don't know why, like, I know I keep saying things that sound very sus, but like, this was a complete run of just not getting actually any upgrades. I'm just so worried about, again, these relatively non-existent people. Once again, I did do a save state here. As you can probably tell, I did do a save state here just in case, so that way, you know, if I accidentally grab the E-Tank, then I can start over and not have to go back to the save spot. That's kind of mostly why I do save states for, is if there's like a very specific spot that I'm like, yeah, I don't want to fucking run all the way back, and what have you. I just don't want to do any of that. Then there you go. Technically, you could argue, well, wouldn't it make it harder if you had to? Yes, of course, but then if that was the case, this run would probably not be done anytime soon. If somebody ever wants to try it themselves without it, you know, there's always that. You don't have to fucking play like I do, you know. I don't know. I know Mike Matei is already knocking on my door for even just mentioning the fact of save state. So, I know, I'm well aware. Yeah, Power Grip is... I know that people tend... And when I say people, I mean very, very few people I've ever heard. Elliot from SGB, for example, is one of them. Talked about how the Power Grip is just kind of a dumb utensil for Metroid games. And, like, in all fairness, I do agree and disagree, and I'll explain why in a second. The reason why I agree with it is because you theoretically should just have Power Grip at the start, because effectively it's allowing Samus to use her hands to grab objects, right? So you would think, like, okay, giving her the ability to grab ledges, that's a thing you have to unlock. But because this is Zero Mission, and because this is technically like her first ever, I guess, tried and true outing, maybe the armor was a little bit too heavy for her at the time, and maybe she just couldn't do it. I don't know. I mean, it's called Power Grip, so you would think that it would at least have some power behind it and allow her to, I guess, essentially, you know, pull herself up better. But in terms of like in terms of gameplay element, you know, I can understand why people might think of it as kind of like a dumb, gimmicky mechanic that you could easily just put something else in for. But here's where I kind of disagree with that. I don't mind it. I don't care. Yeah, it's always great when the games have them normally. You know, that's fine. I would rather the game have it normally. Yes. However, giving us an extra upgrade, like well, you know what I mean, an extra power up or whatever. I think that's fine. You know, because that's just more stuff I get to collect. Sorry, that's just more stuff I get to collect. So, you know, at that point, I don't see really too much of a big issue with it. And again, like I said, I understand where people are coming from when they say, you know, that's kind of a dumb thing to have, I guess, but yeah. Alright, there you go. There's Mother Brain. She looks just like she basically did in Metroid 1. Of course, Mother Brain did get a new change in this game comparison to Metroid 1. She has a laser that she can basically do now instead of just the regular turrets shooting at you instead. So there's that. I almost forgot where the hell I was supposed to go, and I think you're supposed to go left because you need Power Grip to get up there, and I was like, oh, god damn it. I always forget, like, which way I'm supposed to go first. So, yeah. I don't play Zero Mission nearly as much as people might think I do. I play it quite a bit, but not to the extent of, like, I just know where everything's at all times. Hell, I've never 100% this game. The only Metroid game I've ever 100% would be Metroid Dread. And, to be fair, that one's easy enough to do that for. I've 100% and I've 0% Metroid Dread. So, yeah, you know, I have thought about in the future, like, what if I do, like, a hard mode run of Metroid Dread? Because Dread mode, for all its intents and purpose, it really is just realistically a gimmick mode, more so than it is an actual difficulty mode, like a normal difficulty mode. Because even though you do die in one hit, that's just more so like a gimmick of the game. much like Heaven or Hell mode or Hell and Hell mode from DMC, where I feel like that's more of like a gimmick than it really is an actual difficulty setting. Because, I mean, difficulty, again, as always, is always subjective, but what I mean is, like, I'm talking about, like, normal, run-of-the-mill difficulty settings. Hard mode for at least Zero Mission does make the game harder. It does actually effectively make the game harder, and it does things that I like and don't like. No, it doesn't do it. No. It does everything I do like. That's what I meant to say. It does everything I do like, and then some. I was thinking that the enemies were tankier, which is something that people have probably heard me talk about in the past. I'm not a big fan of enemies that are tanky. I think you should rely on your skill and the reaction of the player more so than the fact that the player can't defeat an enemy because he's too fucking healthy. And then all of a sudden, just one random hit, it's like, well, I wasted all that time, and now I gotta do it all over again. I.e. the Constructicons from, Transformers Devastation. Those ones just suck massive ass, I'm going back through the game. I went out today and I found some copies of the older games. I just said, fuck it, fine, whatever. Like PS3, and what have you. So I've been playing that today and playing on a commander, and it's like, my god, like, it's night and day when you don't have upgrades. You don't have strength or nothing. You just can't do any damage to those bastards. And it takes so fucking long to kill them. Like, yeah, at the same point, yes, I understand that my skill and my reactions to them should be important, of course. But attrition starts to wear you down after a while, and that's why I really do like how this game does it. Like, yeah, the zoomers do change into the red zoomers, which they take a little bit more damage to kill, but those are normal enemies you fight later in the game anyway. That's the Ninja Gaiden aesthetic. Not aesthetic, that's the Ninja Gaiden repertoire of enemy design. Is they'll throw out enemies you fight much later in the game, and now you have to fight them, like, at the beginning of the game now, because at this point you should know how to deal with them. That, to me, personally, is a good difficulty design. And Metroid Zero Mission's hard mode design is actually damn near perfect for what it does. Metroid Dread, though, doesn't do anything that Metroid Zero Mission does. Because, if I remember correctly, of course, Zero Mission also has that effect of having your upgrades in half. Your item and your E-tanks, your item upgrades get cut in half. So no longer are you going to be able to have max like 250 missiles or whatever. Now you're going to have like, like 125 or whatever it was. Same with E-tanks, they have 6 instead of 12. Yada, 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 you get the big picture. And I like that. I do like that. That adds another level of hardness to it. But Dread just makes it to where like enemies just hit you harder, and there you go. That's basically it. Enemies just do more damage, and then there you go. Like, okay, at least the enemies themselves don't take more damage. They don't have higher defense, which, again, I've said a million times, I would rather a game not have enemies that have tanky design and just have enemies that are stronger and just do more damage, so then I have to be more reactionary. I have to be more careful and skilled in that sense than just having attrition beating me down. That's the part that bothers me. And that's why Ares' fight from God of War 1 sucks balls, too, because god damn, he takes forever to kill. I mean, I don't mind it. It's not really a super hard fight for the first part of it. The clones still give me difficulty, and then the third fight's like, it's okay. But just the long haul of Ares fight 1 is just like, come on, man. I don't want to waste any of my magic. I gotta do this and that and the other. And again, like I said, that's where Zero Mission shines. It's got a great hard mode, so hell yeah. Anyway, that's it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time, so take care, everybody.